The battle of the sexiest designer fragrances. And in today's battle, we have Armani code Profumo or Parfum and YSL myself Le Parfum. Which one wins? If you want to know who wins, stay tuned after this intro. What is going on, guys, and welcome again to another video. In today's video, I only have two fragrances. One of the sexiest designer fragrances out there. This has just came out, it's brand new. And this one, Armani code Profumo, has been out for a while now. It's got discontinued, or let's just say they just changed the name and changed the bottle design. You can just get it nowadays, 2024, as Armani code Parfum. It is just the same exact fragrance, just different packaging. These two fragrances are pretty much the kings of date night. They're very sexy, they're very alluring, they're very much well received, especially from the opposite sex. These two fragrances are chick magnets. If you have any of these two fragrances, you're good to go. But if you haven't decided yet which one to go for, you better follow this segment, especially today's challenge. Because on today's challenge, pretty much we're just gonna break down every aspect of these two fragrances right here to see which one suits you best. And the aspects we're covering today, pretty much the scent, versatility, it is pretty important as well. Performance, we would love our fragrances to perform. And price point, because price point also matters. When it comes to the scent, these two fragrances, as a matter of fact, they resemble each other somehow. Yes, they do have totally two different note breakdowns. The only resemblance is the ambery note. And yes, both of these fragrances are pretty much ambery. Very warm, ambery, sweet. And that's the main dominant note for these two fragrances right here. Armani code Parfum en Profumo is definitely much spicier and got some darker nuances also. The leather note here in the base is pretty big. You can get whiffs of the spicy cardamom and nutmeg as well sometimes. And even the sweetness coming from the tonka bean here comes across spicy. The tonka bean sweetness is a little bit spicier than the vanilla sweetness, which we have here on myself Le Parfum. It's basically vanilla ambery dominant, so it's more fluffy, more airy than Profumo. It is also pretty fresh, pretty floral. The orange blossom note here just gives it that freshness, and it also gives it that big dominant floral nuance. And it just comes across a little bit jasmine-y too, in a way. The jasmine orange blossom note comes across like Reflection Man in a way, but this one is definitely younger, more modernized, and much sweeter. And it's not as spicy, as old schoolish as Reflection Man. But just the fact that it's got orange blossom and I smell a lot of jasmine as well, it just reminds me of Reflection Man. So in terms of the smell alone, probably I'll be a little bit biased here, but I would choose Profumo over myself for me personally, because I've been having this for years and years and have a lot of souvenirs with it. Plus, I tend to love spicier fragrances a little bit more than floral fragrances. But nevertheless, myself Le Parfum is still pretty effing sexy. In terms of the versatility, these two are a little bit lacking in terms of the versatility. They tend to be a little heavier, a little darker, and more for the fall and winter season. But just because myself, Le Parfum, it tends to have that freshness from the orange blossom and that white floral aspect as well, that just gives it a little bit of fluffiness. Even though it's pretty heavy, it doesn't come across thick heavy like Armani code Profumo. So I can see myself wearing myself, pun intended, summer nights for dates or for just going out. As a matter of fact, it would be perfect for that occasion. You're just gonna be careful with the amount of sprays, and especially if you are going out indoors, climate controlled environment, I think you'll be okay. Even with this one too. Climate controlled again. But in terms of the versatility, they're both better off for fall and winter, mainly nighttime. So when it comes to the versatility, myself wins. When it comes to the performance, both of these fragrances, as a matter of fact, they perform wonderfully. So longevity, it lasts 8+ hours on my skin, and when I say 8+ hours, I'm just being cautious because they last way more than that. I can even still smelling next day on me if I spray them at night going out. Perfectly still projecting, still alive. And when it comes to the projection, they both project. Mainly lingers because one projects better than the other. And when I say one projects better than the other, I mean this one, myself Le Parfum, definitely projects further than Code Profumo. Don't get me wrong, Code Profumo, because it's thicker, it lingers better. So it leaves a better scent trail behind you. Even sexier scent trail. But if you just want people to smell you from distance, definitely go with myself Le Parfum. And for that case in particular, when it comes to the performance, I think myself Le Parfum would definitely wins in terms of that. So 2-1 for myself Le Parfum, wow! When it comes to the price point, this one is a little bit newer and it's more concentrated, so it's definitely a little bit more expensive. But honestly, it's not that way more expensive than Armani Code Profumo. It's like what, $30–40 difference between both of them in terms of pricing. So it is not awful, but if you just want to go for the cheaper alternative, it's definitely Armani Code Profumo. It is older and it's a little bit cheaper. When it comes to the compliment factor is pretty big in these two fragrances right here, especially from the opposite sex. These two fragrances are chick magnets. If I have to pick one, I'll pick this one because I've been having it for the longest time. I've been getting way more compliments than this one. This is kind of like a new acquisition of mine. But if I have to be unbiased and think which one would get more compliments, I would still think Armani Code Profumo will get you more compliments. It just got a little bit of a sexier, alluring effect, a little bit more than this one. This one is very simple, very basic, but it's just doing its job perfectly. You just cannot go wrong with it. But if you just want that extra oomph, Armani Code definitely wins. So when it comes to the compliment factor, this one also wins. So this is pretty much it, guys, in today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below. Which one of the two would you pick for yourself? And when I say for yourself, I'm not talking about myself. I mean the fragrance, this one, no. Which one of the two? And don't be biased because this one is much older. Probably you guys have more history with this one over this one. But just try to be a little bit unbiased, just like me. Well, I tried at least. So let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I'm just gonna leave links to these two fragrances down there with some of the sexiest fragrances also, so you can look around and see if anything captures your attention. Don't forget to show me some love by liking this video, click that subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it, and see you guys next time. Peace.